Let's go.
All right, get this drink on board, people.
Okay.
Hi.
Hey, everyone. Cheers to you.
Cheers.
Welcome to
Creative Happy Hour
where we get drunk
on the creative possibilities.
each and every week. So
we do.
Join us, subscribe, check us out either on YouTube, on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, anywhere that you get your wonderful podcasts. You can hear us, subscribe to us, and find
Yes.
out about our upcoming events.
Oh, and I heard that my sister Golda is watching, so hi, Golda.
Hi, Golda. And anybody else who's watching, you want us to make a little shout out to you or someone you know, do it. Comment down below, and we will comment next time, and you get to have an amazing, shout out from
Happy
us.
hour with us.
What fun. It's the happiest of happy hours. So welcome, you guys. Today we are talking about something that is very close to our hearts.
Yes.
Usually we're kind of bitchy.
Yeah, we
We're
were
a
kind of
little
mean
bitchy.
girls, a little
We're mean
bitchy.
girls, except today our karma is gonna go whoop.
Yep, we're gonna
Because
balance out the karma scales.
all of it, because we're talking about one of our, she's not our guru, but we do love her a lot.
Yeah, we do kind of worship her. I mean,
A
let's
lot.
be honest.
A
And we're
lot.
not the only ones.
We're not the only ones. So absolutely every creative entrepreneur, every coaching person, every guru, Tony Robbins type of person, they all want to have that photo with Oprah and say what they learned from Oprah. So we thought that today we would talk about our idol,
Yes.
Oprah Winfrey. We barely need to introduce her, but we kind of will. And
Yes.
we will talk about what we learned from Oprah and what Oprah has to teach creatives, artists, and creative entrepreneurs, because Oprah is all of those things.
She is.
She is.
She is. She's
So-
quite a lovely philosophy, and we look to her a lot.
We do. So we are drinking one of Oprah's favorite drinks,
Maui in December.
Maui in December.
Yes.
And she and her best friend, Gail, imbibe many of these when they go to Maui in December, because I guess Montecito in July and Maui in December.
Maui in December.
It's a beautiful life.
Yeah, it's a very
And
Christmassy drink. It's got ginger in it.
It is
I
a
don't know
Christmassy
if
drink. So
that's-
let's
I
taste
guess-
it and we'll tell you guys all about it. So cheers to you.
Cheers.
Let's check it out. Let's do it. Well, it tastes
It's
healthy.
like Mao.
It's Mao.
It's
It
Mao.
is
Maui.
I think it's pretty tasty.
Wow. I mean, yeah.
Wowie
Wowie,
in
Maui.
December. So what's great about Oprah, so we were reading the recipe, right? And the recipe was a little bit intimidating. We'll tell you the real recipe, but she's such a good person, Oprah
Yes.
is, that she says, if you don't feel like doing all of that, here's an alternative.
Yes.
So
I love that.
Full disclosure, we did the alternative.
Right.
Obvi. and maybe even beyond the alternative. But
I mean, it's like an alternative with an addendum.
Yes. Ours is very healthy, though. We added turmeric. That's what we added to ours.
Yes.
But, okay, so what's in the original? The original has pineapples.
Pineapple.
It has, which are kind of boiled down with lemongrass and mint. And all this
Lemongrass. Yes.
fabulous stuff. Lemongrass, mint, ginger, and chamomile tea.
And don't forget the vodka.
And don't forget the vodka.
That's what makes happy hour happy.
Absolutely. Lots and lots of vodka.
Yes.
And so we did the lots and lots of vodka. We got that part right.
Easy.
If you don't have time to do the muddling and the roasting and the grilling and the whatever, Oprah says just take a little bit of pineapple juice, some ginger, a little bit of mint, add a little bit of lemon in there for brightness. We did the lemon
and girl,
too.
have a drink.
And girl, just shake it up,
And
put
just
it-
relax.
Relax, kick back and relax. So we agree with that wholeheartedly. This
Thank you,
tastes
Oprah.
wonderful. It does taste like Maui in December. Now I'm
It
like,
really
ooh.
does.
Now I'm like, is December the time that we're supposed to be going to Maui? Because if Oprah says so,
I mean,
I guess so. If Oprah says so, I guess so.
ooh.
That's
That's your new tagline.
That's my new tagline.
I'm seeing that like as a little rainbow light over one of our silly pictures.
That's a really good idea. If Oprah says so,
Then
we
it-
guess so. I like it.
Ooh, I
Yeah.
like that bumper
It is- it's-
sticker S.
It really is bumper sticker ads.
Yeah,
maybe
it
Oprah
is.
will share the profits with us.
Perhaps.
She's our prophet.
She is very giving.
She's very giving. She's a prophet. She's a billionaire.
She's
so
a
maybe.
prophet. I was thinking PRO.
No, I know.
FIT.
I was too at first,
Yeah.
but then I was like, she is kind of a prophet.
Yeah.
So we don't really need to introduce Oprah because everybody knows her pretty much. Or
Well, we just want to give some highlights.
We'll give some
of
highlights of her life.
To give you a
Yes.
backdrop to, I guess, create the argument of why we think she is such a good example of a creative entrepreneur.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, because for any of you who say that, you know, you have so many advantages if you come from a place of wealth and privilege, and that is not Oprah's story at all. So
No.
Oprah was born to a single mom in Mississippi, and she had to live with her grandmother while her mom was
Wasn't
looking
she
for
like a teenage single mom?
her mother. I don't know how old she was.
Oh, okay.
But she was born to, the single mom, lived in Mississippi with her grandmother. At the age of 6, moves to Milwaukee, we're going to say?
I think it was Milwaukee with her
mom.
With her mom, yes. So
And
she was with
that's-
her grandmother, and then she went with her mom.
Yes. And then from the ages of 9 to 13, she was abused and molested by a whole slew of male relatives and friends and randoms coming through the house. So that was not a good scene.
Yeah.
And then Oprah admits that in her teenage years, she was a little bit of a slut.
Promiscuous, I think was the word she used.
She said promiscuous, but
But this is creative happy hour, so
we're
you know,
loosening up.
You have a vodka and you call people sluts. I mean, it's just
absolutely.
happens.
And honestly, I think that Oprah does have a great sense of humor, and I think that it's really wonderful that she divulges this part of her past because it's her reaction to the abuse. You can react in a completely opposite way.
I agree. I mean, she's basically letting everybody know, like, this has no power over me. This is something that happened to me, and I'm moving on from it.
I'm moving on.
This is a historical
and no judgment.
fact. And no judgment.
Judgment.
Yeah.
Like, that's just something that happened.
Yeah.
So she had a baby that dead at birth as a teenager, as a 14-year-old. Yeah.
I don't remember that part.
Oh, yeah. That's
dark.
pretty hardcore. Yeah, it's dark. And then after that, she had no children, but she says, I don't let motherhood be defined by biological children.
Sure.
So
That's
all of
true.
her schools and all of her projects,
Yes.
like she's
a mom to lots
She's
of
a
children.
mom to so
Lots
many.
of girls, she says.
Absolutely, exactly. So with her school and
Yeah.
I mean, and that's why it means so much to her. But not only why, but she's explored it in different ways. So she's not let that define her, which I
Yes.
love. So then she goes to live with her dad, and he
put the hammer down.
He did. He was super
Thank
strict.
God, because I
Yeah.
don't know that we would have Oprah.
That is true. She
Without-
was gifted. She was a very, very gifted person,
Yes.
but without the structure that her dad provided, I don't think she would have gone on to do the studies that
Sure.
she did. For example, like she did all the, communications and the speaking, and she
Yeah,
won
she
all
became
these
an honor
awards.
student, and
Absolutely.
then she started to open doors as she went, everywhere she
And,
went.
I mean, everywhere, but literally everywhere.
Everywhere she went.
She was incredible. So she gets Miss African American Tennessee.
Yes.
And because her charm just freaking radiates off of her.
Yeah.
I mean, she is
She can't.
amazing.
I mean, she's naturally.
She's radiant. She's,
Yeah.
we're a little starstruck. We're like the opposite. I'm so glad that we have this balance to show people, because people think we're just
Yeah, because we're
hardcore
usually
bitches.
just catty bitches.
We
I mean, when you're at happy hour and you're just talking shit with your girls.
that's what we do. We usually do talk
Yeah,
shit.
and we
But
try to make
Oprah-
sense of it. But
we do. But
happy
Oprah,
hour
we
is
can't do
usually-
it.
No, we can't.
It's a little bit of shit talking, but not today.
No,
we'll
no.
find some people to talk
Well,
shit
it's
about
always
today.
good for people to see the
Both sides.
I
Both
see that.
sides. Yeah, we can even it out. We can,
To see our sweet side. It's not a bad thing.
if we have one. Yeah. Love it. So she does Miss Black Tennessee.
Yes.
She then gets a job on a talk show.
Radio show.
Radio talk show.
Yeah.
Yes. And then she parlays that into
She becomes a newscaster. Yeah.
And then you love this story.
Yeah, so I remember her telling the story of how she used to get too involved in the well, she had a really hard time like telling bad news all the time.
Yeah.
So she would get, she'd be crying with the people that lost their home in the tornado, and she would get overly involved in the news story and not in a good way. So they kind of were like, okay,
I don't think that there's a not in a good way. Maybe not in a good way for the news.
Well, the news, you see the newscasters, they're very objective.
Detached,
I mean, even if they're like, we're so sad, we're here today with, blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
And they just lost their home and their whole family, and they can't be emotional, but she would.
She was. So I think that empathy and that passion, they were like, you know what, we're going to give her own show. So they gave her the People Are Talking show.
Well, that was kind of, I think that she still had her, I don't know, she still had her contract, and they didn't want to like just send her home, and they had to kind of finish the contract. So they put her on that
show.
And the first interview she did was about like ice cream or something. It was really not very,
just something light.
Yeah.
Something light,
but then she just started killing it.
Yeah. Absolutely. And then, from there, then she moved to Chicago.
Yes.
Because there was a TV show that was completely failing. It was a morning half-hour format. And she killed that. Like, she totally mastered it. And then she parlayed that into the Oprah Winfrey show.
Yes.
And she started off doing sensationalist kind of stuff to get attention.
Right.
And then she became more, true to herself and started doing much more of that spiritual, helping, giving type of stuff that has made her what she is today. And then, of course, we got The Color Purple, where she showed, and that's something else that...
Well, and that you can draw that back to her, when she, didn't she do, she got full scholarship to University of Tennessee.
You're right, she did.
And then she did theater arts.
Speech and theater arts.
Yeah,
yes,
and so you can see that she definitely had an interest in the arts. And
that's what we're saying, is that she's an artist. She's not just this newscaster. She's not just a public figure. She is really... both a creative entrepreneur, she's a passionate person, she's multi-passionate, and she is very much an artist. From the lifestyle to the acting to, she's super
she's
gifted. She's super gifted.
She's blowing up everything.
Everything. Well, I think that she's one of these people who really, kind of, everything she touches is gold, because she does have all of these talents, but she has all of the caring. So I think, so you guys all know about The Color Purple and the Oprah and her network, and she's a billionaire.
Yeah, she started, Harpo Studios, and
all
then
of it.
The magazine.
Well,
and
the Harpo, I think, is something we should point out briefly, and we'll come back to it, that she is owning...
We don't want a Harpo on it, but...
We don't want a Harpo on it, but her network's called the Own Network, and those two things together create a theme, which is own your shit. As a creative, I feel really strongly that do not let somebody else own you, own your stuff. So many people depend on the agent or the producer who's going to do their stuff, or the manager, and they don't take their own power, and they don't own their own thing. They don't profit from, speaking of profit again, they don't profit from their production.
Right.
And Oprah very early on, it would seem to me, learned this, and not only did she profit from it financially, but I think very much in terms of a creative and, entrepreneurial kind of way. And I think that that's major. So,
well, yeah. And when you, and to think about it more critically, on a deeper level, when you own your own production and you own your own story and your art and everything, then you don't have anyone telling you what you can and can't do.
Absolutely.
Obviously, your viewers are going to tell you if your material is successful or not.
Absolutely.
And that's who you care about.
That's who you care
That's
about.
who you're engaging with.
Well, that brings us exactly into one of our first lessons of what we learned from Oprah.
Yeah, so there were like 25. So there was like 25 overall lessons from Oprah.
In general,
we chose 10 or so.
We have 10 or so.
And this could take all night.
With us, you never know.
We don't have enough vodka for this.
I know. We always say we have 10 or so, and then we're like, did we count right? I don't know. Whatever.
And then remember, we're not good with math.
Not good with numbers.
Yeah.
Not good with details.
And we're not good with dates.
No,
so
that too. We suck at dates.
Forget about it.
So yeah. We are creatives in every single way. So the first thing number one that we have learned from Oprah, you were talking about owning your content so that you can do, what matters to you. So Oprah has never shied away from the content that's kind of dark, or that's kind of controversial, and she has never shied away from it, but she's not taken it on for the sensationalistic aspect.
Right.
She's taken it on because it comes from a place of really caring about it.
She wants to deepen the conversation about it in a sincere, engaged way.
Yes.
So she brings the emotional, intellectual aspect of a topic.
Yes.
And she educates her audience.
She does. Like, for
on
her,
both sides of it.
Totally. And for her, it's not a popularity contest. She does not care. I mean, she does care because she's a warm person, and she, definitely, but it comes from a place of wanting to give to those who need it. And so she's like, if I piss somebody off because I said something, for example, she pissed off Donald Trump, which I thought was,
okay, that's hard to do.
Who didn't? I know, we like her more for it, but it's not hard to do.
Yeah.
But she does come from that place of where she wants to give to those who need it. And she's like, I'm not going to shy away from these subjects because they're important to me and they're important to those people who need it from me. And I love that. And I think that as a creative or an artist or a creative entrepreneur, that is a big lesson that you want to do. You want to not shy away from the difficult subjects, but don't do it just for the sake of doing it. It'll come off as disingenuous.
Yeah. And that's the one thing that you can say about Oprah. I think most people will say that she's very authentic.
Yes.
And that you do get a sense that when she explores a topic, whatever it is, it's because she truly cares about it. And
absolutely. And she's not Little Miss Sunshine. She's not all sweetness and light.
No.
It's not like she's
Like me.
like Micah. She's not like all sweetness and light. No, she does explore the tough things.
Right.
She does, and then, but what comes away from that is a general feeling of positivity. Just because of the way that she lives her life.
No, I mean, I think she has a gift clearly from her past. Her past is a clear example of how she's always taken these dark or hard or challenging situations and said, okay, how can I change it? How can I turn it around?
Right.
What can I make out of it?
So that's the other thing, that instead of just hearing things or instead of just listening, she goes, hear it. So when a situation or when somebody says something to you, instead of just kind of listening and letting hear it, assimilate it.
Right.
Don't be reactive. Try to kind of condense that into something that means something, and then decide how you're going to react, if at all.
Right.
Right. Don't be reactive just automatically. Like, don't, when so many times in business or in art, we're going to react to a situation. We're going to get in trouble. And Oprah never does that.
No,
ever.
But you also don't get out of it what you maybe want or need to get out of it. If you just react to something,
totally,
you don't give it a chance. And I think that's one of the things that she's so good at. She's the ultimate diplomat.
Oh, completely.
And so she's able to,
because she listens and she hears and she validates.
She tries to understand.
She does try to understand.
She tries to understand.
But what also makes her a great diplomat is, like most negotiators or diplomats, she's going to listen. She's not going to react right away. But she doesn't take any shit.
She doesn't.
She doesn't take the shit. She doesn't.
I've taken way too much shit in my life.
Seriously, she doesn't. But she doesn't give any importance to the negativity or to the bad stuff. So yes, people are going to say things that piss you off. You listening and not spewing stuff out automatically doesn't mean that you are.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that.
Yeah.
You don't need to buy into the story that someone's telling you, and she's really good at. That that might be your story, but it's not my story.
Absolutely, and I think that's actually literally one of her quotes. Almost like that's close enough. Like, we'll say it is. Like,
you can have it, Oprah. I mean,
you can have it. It's really good.
You're welcome.
Yeah, you're welcome. But I think that that's very true as an entrepreneur or as a creative. You get into these situations where people are trying to get a reaction from you, and they're trying to get you to lose your cool. And constantly, and Oprah never does. But listening and giving the chance, sometimes you can turn your worst enemy into your biggest fan if you've heard them. You can totally do that. Like, when somebody cares enough to sit there and to fight you on a subject, that means you've got at least some equal ground. That you've got something in common.
They actually say that about married couples. Like married couples, they're like, get divorced and they're like, we never fought.
Right, because you didn't care enough. You didn't care.
You only fight for things that you love.
Exactly.
I mean, I know Oprah didn't say that, but I'm
sure she did at some point.
Yeah, you only fight for things that you love.
No, but that's absolutely true. But that's true as well when you're a creative or you're a entrepreneur, that if you're having a fight with your client, or if you're having a disagreement with somebody, or if you're having a discussion that turns kind of acrimonious, that means that you both really care about the subject. Yeah. How can we find common ground?
And that's the good news. That's the good news. It really is.
It is the very good news. So in terms of good news, like, Oprah is always into the good things and the good news. She has, a way of just looking at things with, positivity and giving. It's that generosity that she has. And that's another lesson.
That's another lesson, is the giving.
Oprah, is the giving. It's,
don't be a little...
Don't be a taker,
stingy
a
little stingy hoarder.
Yeah, don't be a stingy little hoarder.
Buy your friend a drink at happy hour. Don't be an a-hole.
You know what? Buy your friend a drink, but that is so true. Like, okay, what do you get if you buy your friend a drink?
You get to hear all the juicy shit. You do. It's good.
Awesome, and that shit it's owed to you.
Come on, your life is boring. You know it is.
You know it is.
And they've got all kinds of crazy shit going on.
Buy the damn drink.
Buy the drink.
Buy the drink.
It's like you buy that stupid movie on Netflix.
Yeah,
why wouldn't you buy?
You should buy the drink.
Whatever. It's the same thing. It's like a short. It's a short Netflix episode.
But it's the same thing. Like with Oprah,
I'm joking.
No, you're not.
Not really. I'm not joking. Buy the drink.
Right, buy the drink. But with Oprah, she says something that's very true. When you're trying to succeed in art, in business, in creativity, in making, in your everyday life, when you're focused on what can I take, how can I take attention? How can I take the money? How can I take all the resources? You end up having, we talked last time about the financials. Nothing. You end up with that kind of scarcity, viewpoint. You're like hoarding.
Yeah.
And you end up with not much. Whereas if you're giving and you're trying to help your client, you're trying to help, people who are buying your art, you want to give them beauty, you want to show them something, you want to teach them something.
Well, giving is an invitation to connect.
Absolutely.
It's an invitation. It's saying, hey, I like you. I want to know more about you. I want to hear from you. I want to be around you. I mean, when you give something to someone, it's an invitation to connect.
Completely.
And that, I think, Oprah is the master of connection.
She's completely the master of connection. And that is so true, is that she brings things out of people. She brings that crucial connection.
Yeah.
As much
people tell her things that they're probably like, why the hell did I tell her that?
Exactly.
On TV?
On TV, no less. Yeah. But not only do people open up to her, but I think that she manages, when she invests in a project, she manages to get the most important points out of that project. She manages to get the most important points out of a community, what they need, for example, like her girls' school or whatever. Her stuff is so successful because she keeps wondering, what can I give my audience? What can I give my clients?
How can I give and take this to a higher level?
Absolutely.
And I think that's always, I mean, I can't say for Oprah, but the interpretation that I get from everything she does is that she's always trying to elevate the situation. She's always trying to take people, interactions, organizations,
all of it. You're so
to
right.
a higher level.
You're so right. That's her thing. That's her talent.
Ultimately, what I love about her. That's probably my most favorite thing about her.
Well, that's kind of an awesome talent that she has, and that is creativity. Like we have said before, that creativity doesn't mean making stuff. It actually means growing stuff.
Yeah.
And it's that growth mindset that she has and she really puts into practice. That she takes things and she wants to make them better. And that is the creative mind at its best.
In its growth.
Absolutely.
In its full connective growth mindset.
Completely. That's why I feel like, again, if Oprah were to touch any art form or any project, I feel like she would be able, she's one of those people who's understood how to really give and make the best out of things and elevate everything. And I really, really like that about her hugely. I mean, it's amazing. But I mean, she elevates things to a level that, Martha Stewart is shit next to her. I mean, really, like we drove past her house in Montecito, and literally my son and I drove past it like 5 times, because just even her entrance gates with like the cars with the guys on the golf carts and the cars to drive people in and out, just that was just such a beautifully oiled machine, and everything was so perfect that we're like, this is just another planet. It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's like you've arrived at the gates of heaven, and you're just like, oh, Oprah, let me in.
Yeah.
So it's amazing, but she does that so naturally. It's like, wow. You know?
I mean, she really is someone to aspire to be like.
Oh my God, totally. So we had touched a little bit about her, difficult childhood, her upbringing. And we talked last week about the financials of the starving, struggling artist and everything. And she has this whole thing about you. You mentioned that she doesn't feel sorry for herself. She sees the strength in the struggle. Her. Yeah. It is. Yeah, absolutely. She goes higher again. Yeah. So there's strength in the struggle. So whenever you have struggled.
That's another lesson.
It is another lesson. Strength in the struggle. So when she says, I was a little slut. I'm sorry. When I was promiscuous as a teenager.
I'm a little slut. We've all had our little slut.
We've all had our little slut.
And if you haven't, you better get on it.
Get on it,
Get
girl.
on it, girl, because it's fun.
That's our short film right there. But she does. She derives strength from that because that's her story. Yeah. She's taking ownership of that story. That's her struggle, and she emerged from it so much stronger.
Yeah, I mean, she's the ultimate stoic. I mean, honestly, I think, for someone
she's even a stoic, though, because I think she actually...
Well, I mean stoic in the sense that, like in the Ryan Holiday sense of, the obstacle is the way.
Right. Yes.
Where you
I
use
thought of that title when I read that heading.
Use it as an opportunity to like up your game, become a better, more engaged person.
Yes.
And I don't mean it in like, I don't have any feelings. Like she is the ultimate feeling, empathic. I mean, she's the most empathic.
Very.
And I think, her past informs her current ability
Yes.
to, and I would say that, I had a really wild and crazy past myself. And that is one thing that I feel like I do naturally have the ability to connect with people. I'm no Oprah, okay? I'm not a doctor.
Yet.
Yeah, I'm no Oprah yet. But no, but I do feel like when you go through really hard shit, you can level with people. You can go there. You can kind of fall back enough to say, you know what, girl, I've been there.
I've been there. Yeah, which helped.
And
but
this
you and I were talking about.
This is temporary.
Yes.
And have perspective.
Okay,
It gives you tons of perspective. And that's what you need. As an artist, you need perspective.
Yes. And also you do need that vision that it is temporary, because so many people continue to be affected by their past in really negative ways. And of course that sneaks out all the time. And you and I were talking about reacting to your past in different ways. So, Oprah saying she was abused and so she was, promiscuous. And then, somebody else is going to be abused and be closed off.
Right.
Or, somebody.
I was more like that for a long time. Very closed off.
Yeah. And then.
But it wasn't my nature to be that way.
Which is interesting. And I think it's interesting that you realize what your nature was. But for me, like, I see that I had a difficult past, and I kind of use it to tell people, like, hey, believe me, I've been there. I know you don't need, like, don't hold on.
Some of the stories that you were telling me the other night, I was like, what the fuck? I was ready to hunt some people down.
You were, but I was kind of like, whatever.
Did I react?
You were like livid, and I was like, that's in the past. I'm fine. Like, I have.
Yeah, but how many years have I known you though?
And you hadn't heard those stories.
And you just kind of slipped them into casual.
Casual. Because for me, it's now casual almost, because I've been past it.
Not
and I think that for Oprah, like, but.
That shit is not okay with me. But
no,
anyway,
but that's something that when you digest, like, I really, really believe in, that's another Oprah lesson, which is you choose how you react to your story.
Yep.
You choose love or you choose fear. And that's so important, because so many of us choose to repeat the same freaking pattern. Yeah. The only person we are punishing is ourselves and the people around us.
Well, yeah, and I have to say, I mean, obviously I can't talk about her personal stuff, but based on those things, it's obvious. I mean, I think our friends, our close friends, and the people that we hold dear, they are these witnesses to our life. They are witnesses to this other way of being. They get to watch us walk out of, the site where, whatever, the bomb site or the, out
crater,
of the fire.
The crater.
Yeah, the crater. They get to watch you walk out of the crater.
Yeah.
And say, yeah, I saw that, and that was really fucked up. And guess what?
But they get to move on with you.
And they get to watch you make a different choice. And they get to watch you choose love over fear.
Yes.
And that's...
Which I think is so empowering, and I think it's an example. And I'll take the example, and, if she's listening, that's awesome, and that's fine. I was talking to a friend in LA when I was visiting there last week. Was it last week?
Yeah, it was last week.
Last week.
Yeah, I was like, where are you? Come on.
Right? I know. And I've known this friend for over 20 years.
Yeah.
And it was heartbreaking because she was telling me some interaction that she had with this guy she was dating. And she's like, and then I wrote this, and I was like, show me your text messages, girl. And which I've done to you.
Yeah, and then she promptly threw my phone out the window and ran over my phone multiple times. So anyway, so you know what we're dealing with.
So that's no, but I didn't run over her phone. However, I was like, you will never send a message like this ever again.
Like, it
hurt me to see my friend going through the same pattern.
Groveling.
Over and over, groveling and letting her past just inform. She's like, yeah, but this guy and I had a history way back. I was like, I don't give a shit. I was so
history
angry.
Is the key word in that sentence.
Exactly.
In the past.
In the past.
History.
Like, history. Who gives a fuck? I don't care if somebody was fabulous to you in the past. I don't care. It's what they're doing now, and that's where Oprah's
they are a vampire of the present, and fuck those people.
I love that expression.
Yeah.
We should do a show on that.
Yeah.
Yes, energy vampires and vampires.
We're gonna do a show.
We'll do a vampire one. I like it.
Yeah.
But I felt that she was choosing fear. She was choosing fear of being alone, fear of giving up that so-called history, which to me, I was like, that's bullshit history. I don't give a crap. But, you know, I'm very cut and dried when it comes to these things.
Well,
Maybe
it's
too
like,
much so,
yeah,
but damn, I love my friends and I want them to move forward.
Well, and the reason you, again, because of your past experience, you have perspective. You're able to see the other side of choosing love over fear.
Completely. And I know
you
that
have that
possible.
personal experience and you know that it's possible.
And that's where Oprah is such, because I mean, my life.
She's the master.
She's the master because my life was nothing compared to
So you get up this part of the ladder, you look out over the horizon and you're like, oh, I didn't even know that little forest was over there because I was so down here.
Exactly.
But then you get up a little bit and it's not up or down, you know, it's
just perspective.
It's perspective.
Yes.
And I'm using that as a metaphor to make it easy.
We love
for
metaphors
the
on this
people that
show.
are drinking too much
Exactly.
vodka, which I need to be.
My glass is half full, hers is half empty.
Mine is completely empty because this is a real happy hour for me.
I'm like, somebody told me.
I'm like down here, like pouring her drink into my glass.
We're just gonna do a little aside where a common frenemy of the show.
Ooh, a frenemy. I love frenemy.
You know the frenemy of the show. He's more of a enemy, maybe. He never watches.
Oh,
So it's like,
you mean got your nose?
I mean, got your nose.
Oh.
So got your nose. So we have somebody will call got your nose.
AKA
got your nose.
Yes.
He never he. So
well, we'll find out if he
we'll
watches
find out
because when he sees
he's
this,
gonna call us
go,
up and bitch. It's gonna be so good. So this is
That's
a test.
okay.
This is a test.
This is a test.
This
Beta
is a
testing.
test. Beta
testing,
test.
testing,
A/B
testing.
Okay.
Testing.
So he told me, he's like, oh, I saw you guys show and oh, you sure are drunk. And I was like, no.
Yeah, bitches, on the creative possibilities.
That's what I said. I said, we are drunk on the creative possibilities.
Oh, what, do you think you got my nose?
Is
that what you think? You got my nose?
We'll have to tell that whole
you
story.
did not ever get my nose. I'll tell you.
See,
Like,
he
I
is
never
not,
got my nose.
He is not the boss of your nose.
No.
So I told him, I was like, we are drunk on the creative possibilities. We're drunk on being happy and together.
And enjoying
and
ourselves and being with our friends.
Right. And I was like, dude, stop judging my freaking, like, jealous, whatever. But I think there's nothing wrong with being drunk on their creative possibilities or drunk otherwise. Like, again, you can be drunk today and completely lucid tomorrow.
That's right.
Oprah says she drinks her Maui in December, day in, day out with Gail, her friend.
I mean, there are 31 days in December.
Yeah. So
we don't know what, like, Maui in December could be like
all
1, 2,
December
3, 4,
long.
all the way to 31. We don't know.
I don't know if she does dry
I
January.
don't judge.
I don't judge her.
I don't judge.
Either. We don't judge.
We don't judge.
And neither does Oprah.
Yeah.
So
thank you, Oprah.
Thank you, Oprah. So okay, let's go
where
back.
were we? Keep on track.
Where were we?
Woo.
Okay, so attitude is everything.
Yes, I agree with that.
Attitude is everything.
It is.
It really is. Again, that's that's kind of the same as choose love or fear. But attitude is everything.
It's also fake it till you make it.
It's fake it till you make it. So I was reading something interesting actually the other day about fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
And somebody was like, oh, they were looking at it in a really bad way. And I have often said, fake it till you make it in a really positive way.
I think so. I mean, I think it's like that, you know, what's it called when you get like fake medicine?
Yeah, it's like it's homeopathic.
A placebo.
Or homeopathic.
Or
just
homeopathic, yeah.
Like you have a
where
tiny
you get the
bit
energy of that.
Yeah, you have a tiny bit of confidence, and you use it to fake it till you make it.
Right.
You know, I think either or, but I think homeopathic is more.
Yeah, the placebo. I mean, if you read some of the science behind the placebo effect, it actually works.
It actually works.
And there is something to
absolutely
training your brain, training your mindset.
Completely. Or they say all the studies that if you smile, you're going to feel happier. You know, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I think that if you keep faking it and not faking it in terms of
we're not saying fake
lying.
it.
We're not saying lie.
We're not like
or pretend. Don't be Elizabeth Holmes and pretend you came up with some test. You know, we're not saying that. We're saying fake.
I can't believe we read Elizabeth into
She's
this.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I mean that's a whole.
She's really serious.
She's really serious.
But basically, fake your confidence. If you're not feeling it, fake your confidence.
Yes.
You know, fake the because half the time you do
tap into the thing that you don't have to fake. You know, there are days.
Yeah, I like that.
There are days when I'm at work and I'm like, I don't look as great as I look, you know.
Every time you see her,
right.
You wouldn't believe.
Yeah. No, I'm looking like downtrodden and disheveled and like, you know, nothing's been shaved or washed or
but that happens
or waxed. And
today for me, but
yeah. And so, you know, I've like some weird breakout or something, you know, whatever. I'm at work and so then I'm like, okay, well, I'm not gonna like feel attractive today, so I'm gonna have to tap into another one of my superhero
Yes.
characteristics, like I'm really nice, or I'm really thoughtful, or I'm really efficient, or
I
I'm really
think
whatever.
that-
Like,
yeah.
tap into the thing that you can tap into. Maybe
I
you
think
didn't
that-
get any sleep.
Right,
Maybe you
which
hate
I
everybody.
didn't today.
Maybe you are
yeah.
like estranged from your boyfriend. Ooh.
Let's see if he watches the show.
He doesn't. But estranged.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Estrangement.
Estrangement. Maybe you're estranged from your boyfriend, or your girlfriend, or whatever you
We're not
are.
judging.
Yeah, whatever you're doing,
no.
whatever you're estranged from. You know, and so you have to tap into the thing that you know that you can tap into. So
See, I woke up at 4 a.m.
you have
so
all
I
these
tapped
levels.
into makeup.
You have all these levels. Tap into the makeup.
Tap into the
Tap
makeup.
into the makeup. Wear black. Wear black.
Wear black.
Wear
Oh my
black.
God, I'm
Black.
doing all of it.
Do
okay,
it. Do it.
So you talked about the wear black. So Oprah, I think wear black, it's slimming. So Oprah has had this battle with her weight for a long time. And she would always bring it up, and she would gain, she would lose. However, she would gain, and then she would lose incredible amounts. I felt like she was really positive all the time, and she never lied about what she was doing.
No, she was always engaged in the process.
She was super authentic, and she was trying to bring people into it to share with other people.
Yeah.
But I feel
Brilliant.
like, right? Which I thought was amazing. She made people
all
feel,
she did was gain more money in her bank account by the whole
she
thing.
really did. But I feel like, okay, she never made anybody feel bad. If somebody else was not on this weight loss journey with her, she wouldn't make them feel bad ever.
No.
She was just so relatable. But now lately, have you heard her say anything about her weight? I don't think she does.
I don't think it's part of her story
I don't think
anymore.
she gives a
I don't
shit.
think she gives a shit.
I don't think she does. And I think she looks great always. She's an incredibly stylish,
I
amazing
never-
woman.
I
never
never
thought
think-
she looked like, I never thought, oh, Oprah, fat, ever. Like,
Ever.
that wasn't my thing. Like, I thought, what an amazing smile, what an amazing presence.
Yeah.
She's stylish. She's always put together. I'm like,
Yeah.
she has, and that's a good lesson for a creative. If you have this perceived flaw, you don't have to make it part of your story. Like,
No.
don't decide what people are going to
I
make
don't think
part of your story. Like, who
creativity
cares? Yeah.
is a superficial approach, you know,
No,
and I
no.
think, you know, anyone that loves what you're doing or loves your approach isn't going to, it doesn't
They're
have
not gonna
anything to
judge
do
you.
with
And
your,
they're not going to judge you about, like, I think that when you're an artist and you have people who are your fans and who like your work, I don't think anybody's going to nitpick and be like,
Yeah.
ew, I don't like this about them and their creativity, therefore, like, they're a bad
Yeah.
person and I hate all of their art. Like, I don't think that happens, and if it does, that's not
well,
your audience.
it
and that's
probably
not-
happens, but it's not.
It's not
It's
your
not
audience.
your audience.
No, at all.
Yeah.
So we have a friend of the podcast, a fan that we adore. You don't know her personally yet, but you're going to. And I
Oh.
hope she's listening because she usually does.
Oh,
she's an
hi,
amazing-
San Francisco.
Hi, San Francisco. We won't name your name yet, but we love you. And she was worried the other day because she was painting something that wasn't in her usual style. It was a commission. Commissions are hard. And she was really torn up about it. And I was just like, listen, these people commissioned you because they saw something in your work.
Yeah.
And I mean, I love all of her work. And
Yeah.
yeah, sometimes you extend yourself and you do something that's not your usual style and you feel really bad about it. But you know what? Most people are going to look at it and be like, this is just fabulous.
Yeah.
You know, and either you learn from it and you decide you hate it and you'll never do that sort of thing again, or you learn from it and you grow from it and you decide that you'll do it again. But I just think
You learn more about who you are and where you stand
totally,
in this
but we
story.
beat ourselves up about some things,
Yeah.
which I don't think we need to. And then this friend posted a picture that she just kind of did on the fly of like some foggy scene in San Francisco, and it was just so gorgeous. And you could really tell like what she loves to paint, but you also can tell, like, I have to say that
Do you know what the commission is? Of course you do.
yeah, I saw a picture of it, and I have to say, very honestly, it was gorgeous. Stop agonizing. I haven't seen the final
let it go.
product, but it's great. Let it go. And that's what Oprah has done, is that she controls. So this is another good Oprah lesson. Excel in the things that you excel at
Yeah.
and push those forward. And Oprah excels at, you know, the material and elevating things and
connecting,
and communicating
and empathy
and all of it. And she has kind of made this like a portfolio of her strengths.
yeah.
And forget anything she's not good at. Maybe she's not good at pottery. I don't know.
I mean, she's a really good actress.
She is a good actress. She's good at everything, but we don't know the
She's
things.
a wizard. I mean, let's be honest.
Well, she is, and she even played a wizard at A Wrinkle in Time.
A Wrinkle in Time. Oh my God.
Yes.
So I read the book.
Uh-huh.
Then I went and saw the movie.
Uh-huh.
And she was like a goddess.
She's like a freaking
oh my God! And like the whole movie,
White Witch,
you're like, okay, we're down in the cave, and like the whole movie for me was the whole like her saying her piece in that underground cave.
She
and you're just like, okay,
she makes things. She's like, Mick drop,
unreal.
But she doesn't. We don't know what Oprah's not good at because that stuff doesn't exist for her,
right?
Nor does it exist for us. So if you are a creative entrepreneur, artist, the stuff that you are good at is what you're going to put up here, and everybody's going to love you for that. They're not even going to stop to consider the stuff that's not your forte.
No,
it just
they're not.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter
to the people that are your fans or that are your public or
as
that are
Mary
your
Maddox says, it's fine.
It's fine.
It doesn't matter.
It's just fine. It doesn't matter. So
do you listen to her too?
Yes.
So, my daughter and I joke about Mary Maddox.
Hey, come on, it's fine.
She's like, listen,
it's fine. It doesn't matter.
It's fine. It doesn't matter.
Okay, well, cheers. We've done a refill.
Yes, we did.
We trusted it
is happy hour.
It's happy hour, and we trusted our intuition. We thought we needed some more hydration.
Yes, because that is another.
That's another Oprah rule.
Ooh, trust your intuition.
Another thing we learned from Oprah. She has trusted her intuition. Like when you look at her career, you think to yourself, "Oh my God, this woman had a plan from the get-go." I don't think she did, but I think she trusted her intuition.
I think
all the way, right?
I think every time she had an opportunity, that she was faced with an opportunity. She was like, okay, we're gonna just, and we're gonna jump into the pool.
Right, we're gonna jump into the pool if it's the right thing. Like I am sure that Oprah, Goddess Oprah,
well, when she had an opportunity,
says no when she needs to say no, and yes when she needs to say yes.
Although I've listened to a lot of interviews with Oprah, and I listened to Super Soul Conversations.
Hell yeah!
And one of the hardest things for her to learn was saying no.
But she's learned it now.
She has.
And
but it took
she became super
years.
Oprah.
She used to say yes to everything. And we've talked about that on the podcast. Like there's
the power of yes.
Yeah, there's the power of yes and the power of no. And there's something to.
Now she's Nopra.
She's Nopra. Hashtag Nopra.
Hashtag Nopra. No, I think that it's true. You have to be able to say yes and no, and don't say it arbitrarily. Say it, but do trust those instincts because Oprah says, even though we love to turn to her for inspiration, we like to turn to her for, guidance and everything else. But her message has always been that we know.
What do you think?
Yeah, we know deep down inside what's really right. So listen to that. So that whole Oprah lesson of hearing and listening, hear and listen to yourself. Like trust those instincts.
Well, and this is what, I think this is the one that when I was telling you about the recent one I listened to about relationships, because what was I saying earlier about the relationship situation? Anyway, basically, she got that advice from Maya Angelou, who was...
That's right. And that was a beautiful... I mean...
Who is she talks about Maya...
Maya Angelou is her guiding star.
It's like her godmother.
Yes, very much
like,
so.
Very much her godmother.
Yes.
And Maya Angelou says, when people treat you a certain way, believe them.
Ooh.
And she
would
says
like us to expound on that.
And she says when people tell you who they are, believe them.
Well, that goes back to my friend in LA who was like, this guy said this, and that. I was like,
friend in LA, this part is for you, babe.
Friend in LA, listen to us
Cheers.
now. Cheers to you.
We're in happy hour with you right now. We're talking to you.
We're talking directly to you, but to everybody else like you, and you're not alone. When
you're
somebody tells you, you're in good company. When somebody tells you, I'm not ready for a relationship, or it's complicated, I'm busy, I'm this, man, just listen to that, walk gently away.
Maya Angelou says, when someone tells you, believe them.
Believe them.
Believe them.
Believe
and
them.
when their behavior indicates that,
believe
them.
It.
Don't wait 9 times for them to do it to you.
And also, I like what you say about behavior, because so many people are like, but why? But I want to get down to the reason. that doesn't matter. What matters is the behavior. What matters is the treatment. What matters is what they're demonstrating.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter where it's coming from. And again, that comes from the whole fake it. So make it like,
and it's
doesn't
not
matter
even
how
up
you're
to
getting
you.
the strength.
It's not
Yeah.
even really up to you, I think, to decide.
Well, who cares? It's not up to
It's
you. Shouldn't have to waste
really,
the energy to.
No, I mean, you know, if that person was capable of being engaged in the way that
Yeah.
you want to engage, then you would know it.
Absolutely.
There would be we wouldn't be having this conversation.
Exactly. And that doesn't only go for romantic relationships. That
it goes for every
business
relationship.
And we had a whole episode actually. Well, we've had 2 episodes. One about romantic creative relationships.
Yes.
And one about business or creative relationships with
Yeah.
a partner or a co-founder or, you know, a collaborator. And
Yeah.
so many times those relationships are fraught because there's not enough intuition, there's not enough listening, there's not enough following what people are saying.
And I think, you know, I mean, that's the thing that, you know, the communication has to be open. I mean, I think one of the things that is happening, you know, even with you and I is, you know, I'm in this place where I'm working the, you know, like the hourly wage job so much, and you're a constant force of like, we're filming, we're doing this, we're doing research, we're doing, and you know, I think I'm super grateful. If I was not committed, then I would be like, yeah, I can't do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
it's hard, and like I know that it's hard, and sometimes I feel that you're having that day where you're
temporary.
like, and I'm just
temporary.
like, I'm gonna push her a little bit more because I know she's having a day.
And she does, and she pushes me because she knows that it's ultimately in my best interest.
And that is in what you want, because you've demonstrated time and time again that is what you want.
Yeah, it is.
In when you have a bad day, that's an exception, and that's something that like, oh, I know you're having a day. Let's push through it.
Yeah, I actually think that, you know, I was thinking about it, I'm like, I feel so somewhat like demoralized by it a little bit, but then I think it's actually perfect because I am the actual like example of someone who is pulling it off. And I wouldn't even say pulling it off, but like I'm participating, I'm doing my creative activity in spite of myself.
Well, so
in spite of myself.
I think that this might
it's like living proof.
It's living proof. And I think that this is where we might want to announce our plan.
Yes.
It's a good time for us to announce our plan. We didn't know when we were going to do it. This is a good time. So, transitioning from Oprah, who's done it already, and we've kind of followed her model, but while trying to do our own. And so we have taken that to heart. And what we're doing now is that we are trying to push our whole podcast and a whole community of people that we want to
have the community of creative happy hour community.
Yes, and we want to do live creative happy hours, and we want to engage people at all levels in all different, you know, realms. So whether it's a new moms group where the moms don't know what to do creatively with their poultry free time, or whether it's women who are just retiring and who want to, you know, start something new, or whether it's executives who want to motivate their employees to think creatively and outside the box. We want to do these creative happy hours.
We want to come in to venues and do a creative happy hour.
Get everyone drunk on the creative possibilities.
And get everybody drunk on the creative possibilities and remind everyone that there is a greater opportunity, there's a bigger vibration, and ultimately there's a paradigm shift. There is a paradigm shift.
There is. It's here and it's coming.
As you know, Siri takes your job.
Yes, we were joking. We were joking
today. We're like, Siri, can you please schedule?
Don't say anything. She might turn off the camera. She's such a bitch.
She's such a cunt. But editing is important.
Yeah, I have
Sorry,
to.
Oprah,
I always set it to
apologize.
explicit on Apple Podcasts, so we're fine.
But because of my mouth. So,
but we'll be doing this in real time, where we'll be showing people what we do, like the struggles that we go through every day. We're going to be very open and very, you know, explicit about what's going on with our lives. Like if there's a day that we're tired and it was a struggle to get to the taping, what we had to do.
Or if I'm like guzzling vodkas,
there's a reason. There's a reason, and we will tell you guys. But also, we're going to be giving you guys the different steps that we are taking, both in our normal creative lives every day, like the creative projects. When Micah's making a purse, you're going to see it a lot more now. You're going to hear a lot more about me building my author platform and my book that's coming out and everything else. And you're going to hear more about how we're building this community with a creative happy hour in real time. So you guys can get in, like, our message is that you don't have to be ruled by what happened before, and that you can move forward, and it's up to you. We're moving forward every single day, and every week we'll show you what we've done.
And
so
happy hour is
accountable.
It's a starting point for like, okay, I finished my day.
Yep.
I'm coming to the table. I want to talk about who I am, where I stand with, where I am in my creative life. And
happy hour is where it's that magical time.
Yeah, it's that magical time.
And what you want to do.
It is.
And you get drunk on the creative
possibilities. I mean, how many times have you been at happy hour with your friend and you're like, I really want to do this thing. And then the next thing you know, 5 years later, you're at happy hour with your friend and you're like, oh my God, I did that thing.
Which is awesome. And that's something that we want to show people, that, the power of when you say you wanted to do that thing and you start to do that thing.
You speak it into existence.
Yeah, and it is possible for every single one of us.
I mean, I don't want to get all like secrety and like weird manifestational on people.
But that's what Oprah says. Oprah says you and you alone are responsible for your success and your accomplishments. And that's what we're going to show you guys. We're going to take that, we're going to put it into action, and we're going to show you how we make progress every single week. We're going to report back on our strategy and everything else. And it's not going to take the podcast over. We're still going to have our fun creative themes. We still beg you to subscribe and comment and tell us, subscribe, and tell us what you want to hear. Tell us what you want us to talk about. We're still going to be drinking just as much as ever, if not more. But we are going to be building this very serious
doing ballet pantomime.
Yes.
My daughter's been doing, the ballet intensive, and they did ballet pantomime. So every song, everything that comes on, she does ballet pantomime. So I find myself like,
this is great,
acting out everything she says.
Okay, let's do it. Let's do it. So here, you're going to do it.
I'm going to try.
So thank you so much, everyone. We appreciate you guys watching us and collaborating with us, and all of the encouragement that we get, our super fans. And Oprah, thank you for being an inspiration to us. Saint Oprah.
I'm terrible I'm terrible at ballet pantomime.
Fake it till you make it, girl.
Oh my God.
And we will see you guys next week. Thank you for joining us. Don't forget to subscribe. Have a wonderful week. Get drunk on the creative possibilities. And
cheers.